got a 6-cup container, and we've got about 2.5 cups of it filled with a 1% organic yogurt. And you always want to start with your wet ingredients on the bottom, so that as the blender churns, the blade will have some sort of liquids to churn into, and then it can sort of incorporate the solids without mashing into the solids when it starts up. So we've got the yogurt, and then if oranges are in season, I like to use whole oranges because then you get more of that fiber. So here's a navel orange that we've peeled. You can use tangerines as well. Just with any of these, make sure you've got all the pits out, because those can be very bitter and kind of annoying texture once you blend them all up. So those are all of our kind of liquids there. Then we can go ahead and add some honey. So we'll take maybe about a tablespoon of honey. Okay, and one little thing I like to do is keep it off the sides of the blender, because it's a little tougher to wash off. It often doesn't get incorporated all the way. And we've got some bananas. What I do is I buy a dozen or two bananas, and then we peel them, and you can cut them if you want, or just with your hands break them up into these, 2-inch long sections, and then freeze them flat in a Ziploc in your freezer, so that you want to freeze them flat so that when you want to use them, they're a lot easier to break up. They'll just be one layer of frozen banana, easier to break up. If you freeze them like this, they'll be this chunk, and they're kind of difficult to break up. So anyway, you're frozen flat, easy to break up. We're going to put in, I like to put in about 1.5 bananas or so, 1.5 to 2 bananas, depending on how much of a fruit shake you want. The more bananas you put in, obviously more volume, but since they're frozen, you also get a lot more thickness to your fruit shake. We also use these mangoes from, you guessed it, Trader Joe's, and these add a lot of, again, more sort of thickness to your fruit shake, but also a nice kind of silky texture. So we're going to throw in a couple chunks of these, okay, and we're going to max out this blender here, as you can see. And then, so your big choice of the day is, what kind of fruit are we going to put in? We can use some strawberries we got from Trader Joe's. What do we got here? We have some raspberries. Or some pineapple. Then they have blueberries, black raspberries, whatever you feel like. We try to get the organic stuff when we can, but I guess we didn't get it this time. So I think we're going to do some raspberries. That'll give it some really nice color. So you put in, I don't know, maybe like a ½ cup of raspberries. What is that, ½ cup? Something like that. Just sort of depends on how much color and flavor you want in your shake. So that looks good. And then an optional thing is you can take some flaxseed, which is good for those, I forget whatever those oils are in the flax seeds that are good for you. But I also like them because they add a bit of sort of nuttiness and texture. So we'll take about a tablespoon. These are golden flax seeds, but you can get the dark ones, whatever happens to be on sale. So we've thrown those in there, and if you have a powerful enough blender, it will grind them up, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, if you have sort of an old school blender, you might want to buy them already slightly ground up. Then we're going to cover it, because sometimes you'll get some flyaway fruit shake here. Start it off on low so that your blade is not going to hit frozen solid fruit, frozen solid chunks of bananas and pineapple at its high speed. So I like to start it off on low, wait till it starts to liquefy a little bit, then kick it into high gear so that you can really puree those frozen fruits and then start to grind up that flaxseed. Okay, here we go. So you can see that, there's still some frozen stuff at the top, but it's as the blender works on it, it's going to start to suck down some of that solid stuff all into the smoothie. Okay. Another thing you can do is you can shake it up a little bit. So we can see it's pretty much liquefied. I just wanted to stop it here so I'm not yelling. It's pretty much liquefied. And you see the thing I was doing, if you want to, what you ideally want to do is you want to sort of create this vortex going at the top, because you know once you get the vortex going, that means the blade is sucking all your smoothie down into the blade assembly. And that's what you really want. So to help get the vortex going, what you can do is, you're careful when you do this. You've got to hold your blender base steady onto the blender motor, and then you sort of carefully rock it, and that will help sort of move the solids around and help your blender get the vortex going. And depends what kind of blender you have. If you have a base that you can kind of nicely hold, and it works pretty well. So I'm going to do that again just to demonstrate, and then I'm going to kick it into high gear. So you can see that vortex going. Now we know everything's being ground up. I was trying to say you got that vortex going, so now we know everything's being ground up really nicely, and this will be a nice, thick, and very smooth fruit shake. There we go. And if we can look at the consistency of this, you see there's no remnants really of any flax seeds. There's no solids in your fruit. So you have a nice, thick, frozen smoothie here. Yum. And this is breakfast with a little bonus in there. So I like this because it's nice and portable. You can take it on wherever your work commute takes you, on the train, or take it to your office, sip in your car if you're sitting in traffic. And then we've got our little Jamba Juice mugs here, which are kind of convenient. And you slap a lid on top of that, like that. And got a handy straw. And there you go. You got 6 cups of pure goodness in the palm of your hand.